What's going on, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar with my wonderful co-host.
Astonishing, Melanie, and welcome to Near Mid Condition, a channel where you can be part of a positive, honest community and lay claim to some comic book knowledge. And thank you, Kevin, for the super sticker.
Yes, thank you, Kevin, who shows up all the time early and super stickers us. And thank you so much.
Super sticker! If only it said super sticker, not storm.
Yes, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday morning. I'm sorry I started just a little bit late. We're also ending it a little bit early. We're ending it at 12:45 Eastern Standard Time because I got to go and cover day 3 of the Lexington Comic Con. I'm that tired. Lexington Comic Con. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. Amazing Amanda has been helping me for the last 2 days, and she's going to help me again. And then my wonderful wife and the kiddos are going to go tomorrow with me to cover the last day, because that's usually family day. And also she's a little busy today with what?
Going to They Might Be Giants concert.
So she's going to They Might Be Giants and leaving me all to myself. But that's okay. The first 2 days.
So how were your first 2 days?
They were a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. I like to talk to creators. I like to network with people, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had to, I couldn't get in because I still had to make videos. Like I made my, the Adam Strange video. I had to shoot my video for Moon Knight, and of course, man, I left something on the Moon Knight thing from the setting of going to the con, so it might look just a little blurry from time to time, but I fixed it by the time I did the Nova. So yeah, that's what's going on. Are you still doing the Ghost in the Shell? Yes, I am. That will come out sometime next week, though. So I had to move some things around because, well, the DC catalog got updated. I had to film a Marvel Masterworks. So the Marvel Masterworks video will go up tomorrow early in the morning on Sunday, as well as the Judge Dredd video sometime tomorrow, and it'll be up on Patreon tonight. The full list, by the way, of all the epic collections, that will be on Patreon on Sunday too.
Who
thank you, Rahul, for that
creator you've met so far?
Oh man, me and Peter Tomasi just bonded off record, on a lot of things, because he's also a collector. So I did interview him again, and he was like, man, you just keep grilling me about those orphaned issues that are not in the Omnis, huh? I was like, yeah. But he did tell me, a couple of things we could do since my contact at DC doesn't really come, get back to me, except maybe once, twice a year. So I think it's time to start doing that as a group. So yeah, I don't think I need to make a separate video, but also not everybody watches my live videos, but it's just kind of how to get their attention. So, we did not get a chance to go to the post office, but our post office is going to change. Our PO box is going to change. Thank you so much for that, Carlos. Yes, our PO box is changing next week anyway. So I got to go and close it out. So when I go and close it out, I should be able to get it, man. Thank you so much for that.
Is thank you for being patient. We have the question milk.
Yes,
question mark.
No.
Are we drinking milk?
No. I don't think. I think this might be a thing with Latinos, at least in South America. I don't think as adults we drink milk. I think is it an American thing or is it European thing? Like maybe with a little bit of coffee, I saw adults drinking milk, but I remember when I came here, like my friends, like their parents would drink milk, and you never saw that in Peru, at least, or so. Yes. Oh, thank you, Mike. Quarter Irish. Good morning, my favorite YouTube couple.
You changed it. You changed your name.
Thank you, brother. Any other fugitive style Hulk stories like Bruce Jones' run? If you want to stick to Hulk, if you haven't read Al Ewing's run. It's like that, and it's like the Hitchhiker, and it's like the 70s, the 70s Hulk show. I highly recommend it if you haven't had it. Then what do you do with Oreos? I put them in my mouth and
he eats
crunch.
Golden Oreos.
Why do you gotta rat me out? I love Golden Oreos.
It's not a bad thing. Just say it. Hang out to run a chainsaw for some buddies in the neighboring county. Rough night here in Minnesota. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you get some snow or what's going on, buddy?
And say Storms?
Doug is a man's man. He's out there
Psycho.
rugged with like his chainsaw, helping other people out. He's a good guy. Dark Jess.
Psycho Cleveland didn't know it was Saturday until he got the notification.
Oh, well, you're welcome, buddy. How have you been? Riding around Indiana? Is that where it is?
Thanks for doing the Epic Collection reprint poll. Gutted that Hulk Volume 3
Oh,
didn't
I'm
make
so
the
sorry.
top 20.
But keep voting. That's what matters, right? Like you keep voting. Holy moly, you people love Spider-Man. Yes, I'm sorry, Mike, quarter Irish. I'm talking about Immortal Hulk. Sorry, I said Al Ewing's run. Immortal Hulk. Yes, and oh my gosh, when I was looking at the list, I'm like, oh, where's all the? Oh my gosh, the first 3 slots are Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man is like, honestly, it's kind of come to the time where Marvel should just print only Spider-Man. I assume in Epic Collection that seems to get the top votes. But I also love to see a variety, and you all did a great job. We saw some Cap in there. Didn't see any Shellhead this time, but it was close. I think it was 25, 26. I may send them over to the top 25 if they want. Don't you live in South? I don't live in Ohio. I live in Kentucky.
Does Thanos Infinity Origin take place directly after the Captain Marvel omnibus?
Infinity Origin takes place. Yes, but you're still gonna miss. You're gonna miss some chunks of Captain Marvel stories.
Breaking.
The results of the poll. I made a video. It came out. It's the video that I made on Wednesday. It's your top 20 most wanted Marvel Epic reprints. The full list of all 180, 100 and I can't remember. I'm sorry. That will be on our Patreon. It's a lot, man. And then you can see what the least most wanted is. The New 52 Batman run on trade paperback has all the contents of the 2 Omnis. Yes, they don't skip anything in Scott Snyder's. It's mapped a little bit different than the Omnis, but yes, they do.
Roberto Rodriguez.
Actually, Jim Starlin. I talked to I talked to him. What was it last year? Where was it? Maybe it was Baltimore. And that was kind of the ongoing joke. He was like, because I always thought when I was a kid it was Thanos. Now I get, now I get why I never made fun of my friends that were like Magneto, because like a magnet and you're adding an O.
Oh, I never thought of that. Also, I've never heard it pronounced Magneto.
I haven't either.
Because the cartoon came out and then like.
Well, I think when the cartoons and the movies come out, it's clarified. But the older you get, the more you're like stubborn. And I'm like, no, it's Thanos. It's not Thanos. What is it? What is this Thanos?
It's Titus. It's not
Titus. That might be pronunciation with the Japanese, though. It's a little bit different. The best new Oreos are the Xmas gingerbread Oreo cookies. I will take your word for that. I like my Psycho Cleveland said Kentucky equals South Ohio. Are you serious?
Any news on when you're dropping the Tiger Eyes Omni poll results video?
Oh, whenever, man, that Tiger Eyes is working his butt off, so it's whenever he wants me to. And I think he lets me have the top 50. He's got, because I made a video this year, unlike previous years when I just, what's going on, Mark? We'll talk a little bit here in a second. Where I just announced like, hey, going over the Tiger Eyes poll. Here's the email. This time around, I was like, no, dude, I'm going to help you out. Let's get more people voting. So I made a separate video, and there were a lot more votes. And I don't know if I drowned him in votes, and I'm so sorry if I did. But I thought it would be fun. And then there were so many new people to the game that they were like, I don't even know what I could put in for 10. Can somebody help me? And I thought it was really cool that other people were helping other people out in the comment section. Oh, this seems to be a popular vote. Maybe a vote for this. And last year, I did send it over to David, and he's like, what's this list? And I'm like, that's the Tiger Eyes poll. And he's like, what does that mean? And I was like, well, it's, like a lot of viewers voted for that. And he was like, okay. And then he sees my list too, that I like every year that I do the top 20. And how is it going, Mark Zimmer?
And
we hung out with this cool guy.
Snow. Jeez.
We hung out with this cool guy last weekend. He came all the way down from Wisconsin to visit, man. He's a cool guy. You got tornadoes, dude. I'm so sorry. Thoughts and prayers for you, my brother. We went through that. Oh my gosh, last year, my friend. Oh man, this one hit hard because a lot of people. Was it last year when the candle factory got hit in it was Western Kentucky, Campbellsville, that area? Yeah, a lot of people lost their lives, man, because they were told to go back to work. Anyway, I know this is a channel about comics, but it is a little comics related because my friend's dad's house in Campbellsville, Kentucky got hit hard. It destroyed his house. Like, he showed me pictures and it's gone. Like, the house is gone. All that's left is just, they don't even have a basement. It's the base. But he was a comic collector. So he had like original artwork from John Buscema. He had original artwork from Joe Kubert. And all of it is gone. All of it is gone, man. And that wouldn't, it always hits when people are hurt and when they lose things. But I don't know, like something about a collector that loses everything just hits a little more for me. If that makes sense. Yeah, it's rough. Will DC do another printing of JSA Volume 5 because of the major mistakes in the order of the issues? Yeah, so somebody emailed me about that. They usually do because what did they say about Batman? Oh, that's gonna the issue is gonna be corrected in the next Dark Knight Detective. They usually do. There's usually a recall where you have to send things back, maybe the covers back, and they send you another copy. I don't know if they will or not, but that's a usual thing that they do.
No, it is a thing. Eastern Kentucky, Western Kentucky. Like,
yeah,
there's
for real.
a big difference. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there is a big difference.
And these people take pride, man, in Kentucky. You can't fool around with UK basketball and Louisville, U of L basketball, because they'll be like, you got to pick a side here. And I'm like, y'all live in the same state. You're arguing about a bunch of kids playing ball. But you can't say that.
Bert, thank you so much for the super chat.
What's up, buddy?
Still March. What is the Uncanny Omar's favorite dessert? And what he's referencing is that
314.
Omar has a birthday month. Pie, because his favorite number is 3.14, 314, thus a pie guy. Much respect.
What is my favorite dessert, Melanie? Do you know?
Oros con leche. Nothing with cinnamon.
Nothing with cinnamon. That is correct.
I'd say now it's Dairy Queen Blizzards.
Okay, well, it's actually tres leches. I love that cake, man. Tres leches cake
is awesome.
Kentucky ain't bigger than
thank
Kentucky.
You so much for the super chat. Any chance on Conan the King Volume 2 in 2023?
I think I'm actually gonna hit Will up this week to see if there's any news, any more movement on Conan. They're working really hard. And keep in mind, this is an outsourced team, right? So they're still working on Marvel Masterworks and stuff. But now they're having to do Savage Sword of Conan for Titan. So I know they're working on that still. But I will ask for an update. And I would love that, man.
Oh, okay. I'm looking for the Students of the Week that
you need a Detroit era. What's up, Omar Reyes? How are you? My brother Mika's here.
Go ahead, read loads.
Omar, can we see your shirt, please? And are you wearing them with Levi? Of course I'm wearing No, wait, these aren't Levi's. I don't know what these are. Buffalo, I think is what they're called. I know you're still trying to get them. I ain't trying to get no sponsor from no Levi's. Let me tell you, when the Uncanny Omar starts doing videos, standing up, talking about books, and he's like, now, here's a quick word from our Levi sponsor. That's when you know times are hard. And I've had to. I've had there ain't no choice. I got to get sponsored by Levi jeans. This dude, big shout out to Bryant. I don't know if he's watching or not, but look at this. Mutants with Attitude from one of the greatest albums ever. Oh, dude, straight out of X. Look at that, man. Like, I gotta go to the con, and I'm like, I gotta wear that shirt. And Melanie's like, no, you gotta wear a Near Mint Condition shirt. You gotta represent. And I said,
right?
Okay, that's true. But this shirt's so cool. Like, this would get a lot of attention. Yeah, no Levi's today. Sorry, Levi jeans.
What is up with my photos? I can't find my list of Students of the Week.
Oh, is Mika sick? What's going on with Mika? Hello, Omar and Melanie. How's it going? I have a flu. Dude, speedy recovery, my brother. That stuff ain't no joke. Any chance you found out why there's no 97 in New Nightwing? I sent a list of...
Sent a list of...
Well, I crack up because every time I send a list of questions, like to DC, it feels like they get absorbed by some kind of black hole somewhere and they disappear out into the infinity. So I don't know if we'll get an answer.
Oh,
how is my buddy Joey doing? I hope that you are doing well. I am doing well. I hope that you all have a wonderful life. Take care. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you, Joey.
And nothing official yet for Transformers. Who knows what's going on with that, brother? Omar sponsor like Levi would be better than Life. Yo, button those jeans, man. I had a pair of those. Y'all remember those jeans, right? Dude, this shirt is awesome, dude. Look at that. Oh, I love it. It was such a nice surprise. As soon as Brian bought it for my birthday and he sent it to me, and he's like, "You're gonna like it, man." And I did. I love it.
Thank you for the super chat. Chances DC, excuse me, will collect new Titans in an omnibus?
The new Titans, like, or the new Teen Titans, like continue the new Teen Titans. I think the chances are good because all they have to do is reprint them and then give us a volume 6 like we wanted. Or are you talking about the Titan series like the New 52 era or the Rebirth era? There's so many Titan names out there.
The questions to DC are part of Kirby's source wall now.
Yes, that's what it feels like. You know what you know what it is, right?
Nope.
So the source wall is like the end of the universe. It's like where like all the gods and all these old cosmic beings are, because they can't like break loose. That's where, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but that's where one of the big baddies ended up and how they got rid of him. That's kind of how they got rid of a lot of baddies in the 80s and 90s. Are like, yeah, you're going to the source wall because I don't know what to do with you. I'm surprised they didn't take Bane to the source wall.
When are you doing the manga tour?
The manga tour is coming out in April. I got to get with my buddy Ryan. Is going to be the one that films it and edits that one. So he just doesn't know it yet. Would you recommend the Udon Street Fighter series to someone who isn't interested in the games but appreciates the characters of pulp culture icons? Am I missing anything by not playing the games? You're not missing absolutely anything by playing the games. I mean, the games is just nostalgia for us. And holy moly, the Udon books, I'm not gonna lie, like they're some of my favorite collections. That's why they're down here. Do not expect to read War and Peace. Expect to just have fun. That's what those are about. Having fun with beautiful art, beautiful colors. The stories, you're like, man, why is everybody fighting all the time? Well, it's called Street Fighter. So,
because what else are they gonna do?
But oh my gosh, man, them girls. I know it's a Saturday morning street, but them girls.
Greetings from Uruguay, right?
Uruguay. Mm-hmm.
Chances of an Ultimatum omnibus?
Well, highest that it's ever been, and here's why. We have Ultimate Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. We have Ultimate X-Men. We've had 1 and 2, and we've had Ultimates, I think, printed now 3 times. On top of that, Jonathan Hickman is writing an Ultimates book. So the chances of more Ultimate stuff in omnibus format, now is the time to strike. Right? Yes, to strike.
While the iron is hot.
Yes.
Wait, what is that from? I don't even know. It sounds like it should be a song.
I think it's just a forger, right? Or a blacksmith?
No, it's a song.
Oh. Thank you for trying. Hopefully they'll get back to you. You're welcome, Joe.
Like it's a phrase, but I know a song.
That should be my quote every time for DC. Thank you for trying. It's like a Capcom game. Thank you for playing. Capcom. That was the ending to some games. Omar, buy the rights to Transformers. Blas, give me some money. Okay, we'll make it happen. Chances of a 90s X-Men reprint, Shattershot, Fatal Attractions. I don't know if they're focused now on Uncanny in omnibus format as far as chronological order. I hope not, because that means it's going to be years before, especially if they get the Shattershot and Fatal Attractions. It's going to be some years. That's a good question, and I know they didn't. I only pick like 1 or 2, 1 a year to put on the reprint poll, and I don't pick it. I'm sorry. I give the Patreons a choice of 7 or 8 that are out of print, oversized hardcovers. So yeah.
Let's see. DBZ All Star, you're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, Steven was there?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you, man. I'm
you
glad
even
you
said, "Hey, it's Steven."
I did. Dude, that was a long
week.
week. Oh, that was. I had to do a show.
So yeah, we had a book club, which is part of the Patreon.
They have a lot of fun.
Wednesday evening, and it was Josh's favorite, or at least one of your favorites, The New Frontier.
Oh yeah, you destroyed him.
By
That's what it feels like.
Darwin Cook, not Dwayne Cook. I got
Dwayne's
stuck
cousin.
in my head.
Hey, wait, where's the Unstoppable Bard? Maybe she's sleeping in. Maybe she's still not sure about this daylight savings time.
Oh, that's true. Nobody found the street in the movie.
What kind of monster wants to pre-order Ultimatum? I ain't judging. I'm just here to break news and to give the news to you. But if you want to ever hear my thoughts on these things, just go watch some Old Reader, New Reader. You may not agree with me on my thoughts. But
When David Gabriel was in the chat a few weeks ago, he hinted at more
Yes.
2099 Omnis coming. Anything you are able to announce?
No, not yet. Sorry. But he did hint at that. I'll hold him to that.
Worst run by your favorite writer. Claremont. Best run by your least favorite writer. Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. This is hard because I really don't talk about worst on my channel. But I think if people pay attention, they know who my least favorite writers are. All right, best. Okay, Claremont. Claremont gets a lot of hate for Extreme X-Men. He gets a lot of hate for Excalibur. But I gotta go with That So Totally Hurts from Excalibur, Volume 3. Professor X
says that so
he
totally
says,
hurts.
"Oh, that so totally hurts" when he's trying. I'm like, Professor X turned into a Valley Girl. What the heck, Claremont? And it's not the first time that he's written characters out of character, right? We've seen it in Uncanny X-Men 219 with that Brett Blevins cover. We saw where like they find Havoc and Psylocke's like, why don't we use Wolverine's method? Because Storm's like, what should we do with him, right? And Psylocke out of nowhere is like, why don't we use Wolverine's method? Kill him. And in my head, I'm like, no, Psylocke would never say that. What the heck? Okay, she's got to be possessed by malice. I'm fan faking in my head. Okay, so that I gotta go with Excalibur for that. That was bad. That so totally hurts was so bad. I love you, Claremont. I wonder if anybody has a tattoo of That So Totally Hurts. Charles Xavier. You think like get Claremont to sign it? And Claremont's like, that's my favorite quote I ever wrote. Best piece of literature Claremont ever wrote. All right. Let's get serious. I had a
not the revolution.
Oh gosh, this is so hard. Okay, wait. Because there's
your favorite Bendis run for your least favorite author.
Okay, no, Bendis is not my least favorite. I have a lot of other writers I don't like. Some that are currently writing comics that I'm like, oh, but there's got to be some good in here. Oh gosh. Okay. I did enjoy Bullseye by Daniel Way. How about that? I did enjoy Bullseye by Daniel Way. Okay. How about there we go. Good answer. All right, let's keep going. Good morning. Saw your review of Conan the Barbarian. It was a lot of fun. Fun fact: there's a town in Mexico called Zamora. It's the state of Michoacán. Oh my gosh, Michoacán. ¿Cómo se dice eso? Because it's not Michoacán.
Yeah, spell it out phonetically.
Gag me with a spoon.
Like gag me with a spoon.
Oh, you did that better.
Let's see. A roguish type every time you guys mentioned Dharma Cook. Recently, I'm tempted to buy the Catwoman of East End Omni. You really enjoyed that.
Dude, that was one of my most wanted. Yeah, I love that book, man. Get it for the Ed Brubaker writing too. Because Darwin Cook doesn't do all of it. He does, I think, I would say about a third or so of the book. And then you got Paul Gulachi back. Gulachi back. His art is a lot different than it was when he was doing Master Kung Fu, though. Hey, what are your thoughts on Tokyo Ghost? Love it. By Rick Remender. I bought the hardcover complete edition on a whim, and whoa, that first issue was wild. Dude, I love it. It's like that to me is his love letter to anime. It's a love letter to anime.
Let's see. Other X-Men question.
Okay.
Are current era specific omnis possible, such as Dawn of X? Would love New Mutants, etc. in OHC, but it doesn't seem likely.
I honestly think that the New Mutants will happen once. I think we'll get an omnibus because there's just way too many writers involved. You got Brizen, you had Hickman, Vita Ayala, and now there's another writer. So I think that era, once this era of X-Men is over, I think we'll get an omnibus of New Mutants. That's just me thinking. Because, I mean, it's been a long time since some of these have been out, and now that we've gotten 2 volumes.
Marcella says that it's like in Charlie.
So it is. So it's Michoacán. Thank you for that, brother.
That's what Sergeant Savage says.
Thank you, Sergeant Savage. Dude, he's got a Judge Predator. That's awesome.
Let's see. Am I missing much if I just read the Messiah era event books rather than the full runs of the Involved series?
You're talking about X-Force and Uncanny? No, you're not missing much. No, just know that. Just remember these 3 words: no more mutants, and that kind of leads into that era. And then you're like, oh, one more mutant. Oh, where'd that come from? You'll see what I mean when you read it.
So I'm not a Conan fan by any stretch, but after enjoying Savage Avengers, I've been intrigued by B6 run. Do you think Titan will put out an Omni of it and the sequels that don't skip issues?
I here's what I think. I think they're gonna see how much interest there is in Conan, because I'm sure the license. Well, this is just me thinking. I'm sure the license wasn't cheap, so they got to get that money back. So the money back starts with the classic stuff. People like the classic stuff. It's been out of print for a while. It's time to get that stuff back in print. That's going to determine what other projects for Conan are paid for. Savage Sword of Conan, I think it's not. They don't have anything to worry about. They're probably more focusing on the reprints to see how well they do, to see if there's an interest in new readers reading those old Conan stories. Which Savage Sword #9, they already know the people that have the first 8 volumes are going to get it, so there's no way that they're not going to buy volume 9. I think eventually, if the sales of Conan are good, they will definitely do that, dude. Because Marvel did the Kurt Busiek Omnibus, and it was mapped better than the Colossal that you see back here, that one back there. It was mapped better than that, and it actually included a miniseries, but it also skipped the Tim Truman issues. So I think, I don't know how they would call it, though. Conan the Modern Era? Because they already have a new modern Conan coming out through Titan Comics. But I do think that they eventually will. It's a great series, by the way. And I'm so glad you like Savage Avengers, because that was a Conan story. I don't know why the heck they called it Avengers, other than the cash in on the name, maybe. But that was a Conan story. And I like the way that Jerry Duggan wrote Conan, because he didn't write him like a savage barbarian. He actually wrote him like a pretty smart dude. Marvel Bab, how are you, brother? Omar mentioned Avengers No Road Home, and it's sold out or super pricey. Well, I just wanted people to know that book is where Conan, comes into the modern times, and it's not collected in the Savage Avengers. I always try to tell people, what's not collected that might help your reading experience. Unfortunately, sometimes when I say those things, those books are out of print. So,
Michael was mentioning E for Extinction. It was a jumping off point.
Jumping off point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me
Second
see.
Mutations, Xavier's evil twin sister. That wasn't my X-Men.
No, so Michael, that's the era that kind of brought me back to comics, because I like Grant Morrison, but much like JLA, Grant Morrison's run on X-Men is ups and downs. I actually liked E for Extinction. I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. Second Mutation, I kind of thought, okay, how many classic X-Men stories can we tell at the mansion? Even though it was still there. But by the end of Morrison's run, I was missing classic villains. And I think that's happened with everything that I get excited for. House and Powers of X, I knew going into House and Powers of X, I was like, this is the best X-Men story I've read in years. But I know eventually I'm going to miss X-Men playing baseball in the backyard. So,
well, you've got the big party.
The bar?
No, you got the big different party on Krakoa where everybody's with everybody. Yeah. So there you go. Hody ho.
That is not a ball game.
Have you ever seen the Ruby Spears Superman animated series? It's really good and was heavily influenced by the post-crisis Superman era and has a John Williams theme at the start.
Yes, sir. And how are you, Kenny? Hope you're doing well, brother.
Oh, thank you. No, I coughed. Thank you. I give less for coughing.
Hey, how are you, Caden? Hey, Near Me Condition. Where can you find Nightwing Volume 1 Bloodhaven? I saw it at the Lexington Comic Con. Where do you live? Because if you're looking for one, let me know. And if you live in America, I have to ship out some stuff next week. So I think you're new to collected editions, right? Wait, how old are you? Are you a kid? I'll ship it to you if you're a kid. If you tell me you're over 18, go get a job and go buy yourself.
Saw the announcement for the Question Volume 2. What's the series like? Crime, mystery, etc. Been debating getting Volume 1. Like him on the Justice League Unlimited cartoon.
Funny, very self-aware. Like unexpectedly funny, but also crime and gritty at times. And I think the first one had one of those disclaimers, like this is a product of their time, because some things were a little bit derogatory. But I think a lot of these people were just borrowing from the headlines, right? Well, it might seem nowadays like, well, that's, a stereotype. A lot of people like Mike Grell and like the writers were just borrowing from the headlines what they were seeing. So, but I liked it. It's one of my favorites, and I can't wait for volume 2.
So at this point, I'd like to announce the students of the week in my English classes.
Oh, okay.
They get a thumbs
They
up
didn't get
from
us.
Batman.
They didn't even super chat us.
So for second period is
Eat my
Reagan,
sandwich.
because she is a perseverer. She's got a terrific work ethic. So good job, Reagan. And Michael in third period, not only for being creative and a terrific writer, but he doesn't give up. He keeps on working. Abby in fourth period, because she is just the best at helping other people and holding discussions during book clubs. And Tyler in fifth period for his class participation. And then Angel in sixth period, because again, with the book club, I was like, there you go. Good job, Angel. So congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, kids.
And the stream just stops. Here's Jack Ferry.
I think these guys are like, what the heck, man? I don't know what to say. Congratulations, kids.
What? No, you were like chewing, and I was like trying to get back to
Viva Peru, carajo. That's what you tell them kids.
No.
Okay.
Here, Carlos's question is related to somebody else's question about Swamp Thing.
What's between both
What's
of those?
the best series in New 52? Justice League, Swamp Thing, and also what's your opinion on Swamp Thing? I know you think it's one of the most romantic
Oh, okay, one issue.
comics.
One
Okay.
issue.
One issue is one of the most romantic.
Written really well.
ever.
Really well. That's like that's one of those romance novels for guys. You're tricked into reading a romance novel. Alan Moore like hooks you with the violence and the shock factor and the twist, and then before you know it, you're reading a Harley Quinn romance novel, and you're like, whoa, this is good.
Harley Quinn's in it?
No, not Harley Quinn.
All right, what about New 52?
New 52. If I had to choose between both of those, I'd probably go Justice League. Justice League starts off strong. It's got Jim Lee on artwork. It's got Jeff Johns writing the entire 52 issues. Well, no, the first 50 issues. Last 2 issues were Dan Jurgens, right? Yeah, I think both of those were written. You're 16. Where do you live?
And Totoro is back at theaters
Yes,
today.
I know.
Love Totoro. That's
Yeah,
my
that means a
favorite
lot.
Studio Ghibli movie. Let's see. The Dread video will drop eventually?
Sunday, tomorrow, I promise. I know it was supposed to be out Friday, but a lot of things got pushed back. The video's been made for a month now. I'm really proud of myself.
Oh, Lionhearts never missed a Saturday AMA. Perfect attendance.
Well, all right, we'll give that man perfect
good
attendance.
job.
Perfect attendance right there, man.
There are minors in the stream.
There's minors in the stream. It's a Saturday morning stream. Cycle Cleveland, control yourself. You mean the entire series, or like the entire 52? What are some of the best? I think most people will probably say Batman, and that is a good answer. I like Batman. I like Justice League Dark.
I can't even get them to read the comics in my room. Anyway,
I like Justice League Dark. No, you got some kids. I liked. Let's see. I liked Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman's very divisive. People either hate it or don't. But I really like the Azzarello stuff. I thought it was a good mix of horror and a new revamp for the series. I think Superman was one of my least favorites, though. But I hate to say this, but both the Paedes and the Grant Morrison run, I just wasn't a fan of that era of Superman.
In Iowa.
You live in Iowa? Shoot me an email. Let me see if I find it today. I'll send it to you. I promise. Well, you know you're not, Josh. I had like 30 more years to that.
Were you done with the?
What else did I like from the New 52? There's a lot of good in New 52, though. I really enjoyed. Let's see, Wonder Woman, Justice League Dark. Justice League was solid. Francis Manipul's run on Flash, that was good. Aquaman by Jeff Johns is probably the best. I love Peter David's run, still my favorite, but Jeff Johns' Aquaman is probably the easiest jumping on point for Aquaman, the character. Frankenstein, nobody read that, but I love that book. I thought it was so good. Green Lantern had its moments.
Matt said, I think you liked Batwoman from that era as well.
Yes, but I like Batwoman a lot when it was Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams.
Bye, Edwin. I'll be on a plane next Saturday heading home, so you guys have a good week. Oh, well.
Well, you too, buddy.
Yeah. Tell your mama hi. What do you think are the chances DC will ever do a Justice League International Volume 3 Omni or Supergirl and the
Legion of Superheroes?
So, okay, there you go, Omni. Wash Omni.
Well, to get Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes, we got to get the Mark Waid stuff collected first. Because that would be like volume 2 of that era. But I think we have a better chance of getting the Justice League International Volume 3 one day. I think so. I think that stuff might have been already mapped. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jason. Where's our J.M. DeMatteis Spider-Man Omnibus? Don't give up hope. Omnibus. I think we'll get the Epic Collection of Spectacular Spider-Man by J.M. DeMatteis first. I think that's where they'll start the Epic Collection, just from what they've done in the past. And eventually we'll get it in omnibus format. It's nearmancon@gmail.com, buddy. There it is on the screen. Screen grab that. Give it a thumbs up. nearmancon@gmail.com. You can email us there, buddy.
Give it a thumbs up.
I have a soft spot in my heart for kids, man. Too late. Most of you here, you already told me you were adults. I agree, Omar. Where is it? Where is it? Somewhere between where my emails and that black hole that I talked about earlier are. My emails to DC, that black hole, that's where those Omnis are. Amazon has a couple copies of Avengers No Road Home in the version published by Panini. I'm not sure how that compares to the US version, but it appears to be in English. The same thing? There's only one way to find out, Mark. You got to order all the copies and see if they're in English. And then you ship them out to people. Mark is such a good guy. Dude, Mark cooked me up with some beer, man. Your favorite beer?
Mark, that beer is good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel guilty drinking more
I like
than
the
one.
cow one the best.
Yes, that's his favorite.
And our daughter does not like the non-processed cheese curds.
What is wrong with her?
Tastes weird.
There's Bar.
Because she's used to the process.
Psycho Cleveland is not 67 years old. Don't let him lie to you. Neat fact. What does Doc Savage, Tarzan, Fu Manchu, The Shadow, and Frankenstein have in common? Both Marvel and DC have versions in their universe, Melanie. That
I know that
is a fun fact. I like fun facts.
And Bar.
I knew it. I knew it.
We knew. We know because you stole those comics. You're holding
that little boy, he ain't been back until the next giveaway, I'm sure. Yeah,
Spotted Cow. That's
if you ever you're in Wisconsin, go get some Spotted Cow beer, man. That stuff's delicious.
Is
if you like
Art ever gonna get a Rucka Wonder Woman Omni pre-52?
Art, and I think Bar wants that too. You want the pre-52? I think they might give us Rebirth first, even though it would be a very small omnibus. I don't know if they put in the James Robinson stuff. No, they wouldn't do that. I think we'll get a Rebirth era first, which. It's good, but I would rather the pre-52, New 52.
I was about to ask Hannah if
How are you, Hannah?
What she thinks about that situation. We have to get it. And Kaden, I just put the email in the chat. Let's see. NMC is having a sale on DC Absolutes and Omnis. What?
We are?
We are?
Yeah.
Wait.
You're selling my stuff.
Or maybe you're saying NMC, hey, listen up. Wait. Who's having a sale? Found Flash Volume 1 Omni by Jeff Johns for $45.
You're selling my Flash for $45? I think I paid more than that.
I can so see myself typing something like that. It must be abbreviation. You're just used to all these abbreviations.
Jacob, this is how fake news gets started.
Is it CGN? I don't want to.
Look, it would be awesome if Jacob's
I don't want to assume for CGN.
Jacob just comes into the chat just to say that and then leaves. Causes all this. Like, I get a bunch of emails. Omar, I'll buy your Omnis for $45. I'm like, man, I'm not selling anything.
Okay, Jacob did mean CGN. So many acronyms. Yes, that's what I'm reading these. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's LOSH? And
I thought my wife created an
Uncanny
account.
X-Men confused with Ultimate X-Men because they're both used.
Let me tell you, most of these people right here are asking for Uncanny X-Men, not Ultimate X-Men. Every time you see that, you think Uncanny. Just remember that. Okay. What would Chris Claremont think? Oh, that so totally hurts my feelings, Melanie, that you said Ultimate X-Men instead of Uncanny.
The only era of Superman comic books I have not enjoyed as much as New 52 Superman Action Comics and Bendis post Rebirth.
Oh, and Kenny is a big Superman guy. Like, he loves Superman. I just wasn't a fan of what they did to him. You know, they gave him the youth. They made him young. Look what you started.
No way, Jose.
Yeah, but
He's
there'll be
selling the
butt whoopings
collection.
coming. Yeah, with some butt whoopings coming.
Chris Claremont, Omar's the son I need in my life. Let's see. Has the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl Omni come out yet?
Yes.
I checked all the comic book stores near me, but none of them had it.
It is out. Mm-hmm. It's out and about, so you can get it. It came out last week, I believe.
C2E2's next weekend.
I know. Amanda and I were talking about how much we love that con, and Maddie wants to go again. So I think maybe next year you'll see us there.
All right, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat, my brother. What is taking DC so long for Batman Eternal Omni reprint? Any hope? There's a lot of hope because we're getting a Batman and Robin Eternal Omnibus next year. And remember, the catalog isn't finished. I just checked this morning because I was like, maybe they'll sneak in some more books. They haven't yet. So because we're getting a Batman Eternal or Batman and Robin Eternal Omnibus, that gives us a high hopes for Batman Eternal coming back to print.
Hey there from
What's
London.
up, London?
I finally have your parcel. Finally have your parcel ready to send. Should be with you middle of next week. Many surprises.
Oh,
inside.
thank you, man.
Well, thank you.
I will check it out for sure. I will check it out before we
Josh, thank you
No, we're not doing that.
Thank you for the super chat.
We're not selling
Down
anything.
payment on the absolute. Wait, which absolute?
Look, let me tell you. You know what? You'll know when times get hard when I start auctioning off my stuff, and I'm like, and all the benefits and proceeds will go to Omar because YouTube is making me lose money.
Oh my gosh,
And by the way, this episode is brought to you by Levi Jeans. So you better button them flies. That's when you know YouTube times are hard, man.
Those are some dangerous jeans.
Because I think the auctions that we've had on the channel, all the proceeds have gone to creators or the Hero Initiative. It's been a lot of fun to do that. Like the amount of money that we've that you all have given to creators.
Remember when you got drunk and bought like a bunch of anime? That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I've done that since.
I haven't been that drunk in a while. That was when I was a project manager and I still had time to like drown my sorrows away.
Let's see. Hey, Menzies. Hope everyone is well. I got my Savage Adventures Omni this
awesome.
week. iMac printed. It smells like the inside of a new car. Threw up everywhere.
I like the smell.
It's stinking up my room.
No. It does not smell like a new car. I actually like the smell of a new car. I took a big whiff of my iMac. So what I did, because people were talking about.
Took a big whiff.
Okay, please don't take that out of context. People were talking about. People were talking about the smell of iMac printers, and because I leave mine air, because I get mine like about 2 or 3 months before the books come out. Like I've had Spider-Man Beyond since like November, I think, and I think our book's delayed till May. But anyway,
I think it was alive. When did you just get out? Was it alive? It was alive, wasn't it?
No, it was not alive. I got drunk and I was like, I'm gonna make a video about all the stuff I bought. So what happened was I got drunk and bought a bunch of anime, and then I got drunk to make the video.
The same day.
No. This was after I got my package, and I'm like, I'm gonna get drunk to open these things up. I think I watched one of them Blu-rays, like I said I would. I watched one of those Blu-rays. That was 3 years ago. So anyway,
I interrupted you. Yeah, go ahead, and then we'll get bars.
What was I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, the iMac smell.
Oh, okay.
So
you like it? You love it?
I do. So what I did as soon as I got Thunderbolts? I opened it up, and before I even stretched the spine, I just took a big whiff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's nasty.
I was gonna say I didn't think you liked it.
No, I don't think anybody liked. Well, I don't know. Maybe some people do. So that was because because I've opened them up as soon as I get them and stretch the spine, I don't really notice the smell. But a lot of people are different, right? Everybody has a different sense of smell. And
Hardcover Melanie, even though I wasn't present at the last book club, heard it was dreadful without me. Can I still nominate Harleen again?
Yes, you can keep nominating.
At the beginning of April, I'll put up a poll on Patreon to vote for April's book club book. You know what? Blankets has been 3 times throughout the months it's been on there. So let's give it a couple months, and then we'll put Harleen back on again, because Blankets has been on more than once. It never wins. Let's see. So Omar's like the smell of a good Omni is like the smell of a good woman. Nothing like it.
I don't go around smelling women. That's another creep factor I don't need in my resume.
Will there be remaster works for Invincible Iron Man, like Avengers, X-Men, and Spider-Man?
Yeah, I don't have the list of the remaster works yet, but I'm sure that they'll get there. Right now, they're still trying to figure out. Yo, it was fun. Big shout out to Mark Zimmer again. Both of us nerds one of my viewers, one of my Patreons, thank you so much, sent me their copy of Amazing Spider-Man, not the latest reprint, but the previous reprint of Marvel Masterworks #1. And we were starting to compare the new printing to the previous printing, and we were like, okay, the color's a little bit different here. Man, we were like two nerds, and I'm like, oh, I should have recorded this, because I don't think, not a lot of people appreciate like the color restoration or the line restoration, the fine line, and all the little fine tuning they're doing. But people like Mark do, because he's been collecting Masterworks for a long time. So I should have recorded that, but we had to go somewhere that day, or maybe I had a live stream. I don't know. I'm always doing something, but I assume
you and Mark were standing right here.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. And Maddie was like, "You two are nerds,"
and I said it was cute.
But I think right now what they're trying to do is they're trying to see if there is a big interest in this, and they'll continue it re-releasing them in chronological order, or they may jump ahead to more popular books too.
So before we get to the super chat and I show off this spine really quick, where can you find the DC catalog online?
Go to PRH. That's where it is. The PRH catalog. Dude, what's going on, Jeff? How are you, my brother? Glad to hear DC may have changed their minds about Golden Age and Silver Age books. Keep in mind, it's just a catalog, though, brother. Let's get those books. I'm crossing my fingers and Pingo's in my way. Let's get those books solicited. That's the most important thing. As you and I know, and a lot of people on the stream, catalogs are one thing, but they can always be taken out of the catalog. And to them, it's not even a cancellation. It's just like, hey, was never solicited.
Thank you for the super chat. In Forest Green is what Mark is saying.
So yes, Forest Green. We were comparing the colors, but and the next step is solicitation. If they're solicited, that gives us a better chance of getting the books. Phantom Stranger, though, I mean, been solicited.
Oh wait, why would I show this spine?
Yeah, why are you showing the spine of that? So there's 3 covers for Spider-Man Beyond. This is the one I chose.
That spine is awesome.
I think, is that Arthur Adams, right? I think it's Arthur Adams. What?
Your mom.
My mother. Teresa Valdivieso, my mother. Teresa de Jesus Valdivieso. You're talking about my mother, who's a saint.
She's a terrific artist. And so there's look at him looking all pensive and lonely. And there's some.
What happened to Spider-Man's face? Find out by reading the book. Look at their faces.
I know. That's genuinely creepy.
That is
like that.
Nightmare fuel.
Because it's got a little bit of teeth showing in there. Thank you, Jack, for the super chat. I'm hoping a smart publisher will get rights to reprint Mobius's Blueberry in its entirety.
I had my old contact at Humanoid. Not that my new contacts at Humanoids don't talk to me or anything, but my old contact and we really bonded, man. He was a cool dude. I don't know where he is these days. He worked at Dark Horse, and he told me a lot. He taught me a lot about the behind the scenes of how smaller publishers do things. We talked about the Mobius library and how much of a nightmare it is to get that over here. Because technically, Dark Horse has the rights to Mobius, right? But unfortunately, Blueberry is just one of those little things that the estate is like, no, not this. And because it's a different publisher.
Or I just like to say
your. Thank you for that, Shonda. So how have you been, brother? But we bonded over how cool that would be to have them in hardcover. Mark Wade and I bonded over that too. Because when I had him on the show, man, Mark Wade, still one of the best interviews I've had on the show, because he really he put a lot of things into perspective for me when he said I am the luckiest guy working in comics. I will never forget that. And that you don't think about it when you forget to plug the mic up, or the camera setting is wrong, or the lights isn't working, or oh my gosh, there's all kinds of things. It's only afterwards, after you stop stressing out, that you start thinking about that.
Oh, Mobius's wife is super protective of Blueberry, so the reprints are unlikely.
So one of my brothers, who I consider a brother, my buddy Simone, lives in Spain. And he's not much of a comic book reader, but he has the entire Blueberry library in Spanish in hardcover. They're beautiful books.
I just want to mention really quick, because I showed the Alf GIF that I did dream about Alf last night. And then you were going to do a review video over these not the actual Alf comics in reality, but there was like a crossover with all these titles. And I was like, wait, I need to do the review of Alf and Spider-Man. And then the Alf NECA figure was on a shelf. And that was it. That was the whole Alf part of the dream. I don't remember anything else. The end.
What? I'm surprised Bar didn't put a down payment on that one.
Well, where are my gifts? Okay, here you get the other Alf. Thank you for this super chat. Down payment for
Omar's custom Wonder Woman Omni.
He says ting.
That's
time for ting.
This is the Omni that if I ever sell, people are gonna be like, oh man, times are hard for Omar. He sold his Marvel versus DC. Man, this thing was super expensive. Melanie, did you cut your hair? Looks
no, it must have been just, it wasn't. Oh, well, no, yes, I did. But like a month ago, trim? Yes.
Did you just yell at Bar?
Yes.
Sorry, Bar. I apologize for my wife yelling at you. I'm used to her. Yeah, and Melanie's dreams are obviously Omar's nightmare.
Okay, let's get back to some questions. Logan says, how many siblings do you each have? 1.
2.
Are you the older or younger sibling? Older.
Younger. Oh, older.
No, you're the oldest.
Oldest.
Are they collectors too? My sister is video games. She loves video games and the such. So yeah.
My brother, Tommy, he's a very artsy guy. He's the artist of the family. He's
got those little
the little he loves painting. I think he's gonna
come in gray.
He's gonna be the perfect Warhammer player.
What I'm saying? Yeah. And
so he paints
it
little
all detailed and
figurines of
he's got
I'm gonna take
say 150.
Yeah, he's got them all from the Marvel United game. I think it's the board game. He painted all of them. They look amazing.
Didn't miss anything. I dreamed about Alf.
Omar and Melanie, dude, how have you been, Chris? No, I like Melanie yelling at me. Easy. Into the Spider-Verse, Rise of the Spider Alf. Hey, Omar. Wait. Michael Valenzuela is asking something.
Wait. Okay.
So many questions.
Okay. No. Who?
Michael Valenzuela.
There we go. Which Paul Jenkins run between these two is the best? His Peter Parker Spidey or Hulk?
I wasn't a fan of his Peter Parker Spider-Man. Hulk. Although Peter Parker Spider-Man did have Humberto Ramos on artwork. I just didn't like his Spider-Man. Funny at times. I liked his Hulk a little bit more.
Ooh, Jacob found the singles of Marvel versus DC and most of the one-shots as local comic book shops during convention.
They're fun. Yeah, this is the modern stuff. I hope one day.
Someday.
Like this has the reason I got this because I was like, all right, that's expensive. But whenever they threw in the amalgam stuff, I was like, and sold.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I must have been drinking that night.
Wait, well, who's that guy in the back?
That's Access.
Oh, is he the one that's...
Amalgam put together, and then there was a Access miniseries.
Wait, is he an amalgam?
He's a character created by Marvel and DC.
He's the one responsible. Okay.
I can't give away that.
I didn't read the whole thing. I don't remember.
Mark Spector will be coming out Monday. Mm-hmm. Wait, my Mark Spector Omnibus overview will be coming out Monday is what I meant to say.
Look at this. I am on point. It's 11:57, 11:58. Let's do our midway stream. Oh, wait.
Got coffee on
midway stream, practically midway because we earn it.
Oh my God. I got it. It's almost midday.
No,
nope.
bit.
Okay.
We're ending at 12:45.
This part of the episode is brought to you by
Midway.
Walt's Comic Shop.
Okay, if you live in Europe and you are interested in buying and pre-ordering Omnis, then you should definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, bulletproof packaging. Please don't test that out. Emails answered within 24 hours. So for our viewers, if you use the code near mint condition, all one word at checkout, you get free shipping for EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding! You're supposed to dance. That was me making you dance.
What are you doing?
You started bobbing your head.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes I can't help it.
You don't want a refund for that.
Who's gonna want a refund for that? Kyle.
Oh,
who else got a ting like that? Melanie, you missed out on a very funny AMA.
I'm glad that you all had fun.
Was I there?
And that then who was doing the AMA? That's part of the Patreon as well. It's the same tier, $7.77 tier is book club, and the $5 tier Discord access and voting rights,
early access videos.
He's bobbing his head because he's old.
Oh, really, Bars? That's where we're gonna go with this. That's where we're gonna go.
Any word from Dark Horse about possible reprints of Lone Wolf and Cub and Old Boy?
No word. No word. No word until they give me the go ahead to announce things. We're still talking about those things behind the scenes, so we will see. Hey, Omar, wouldn't it be something? It would be if we had a Hitman Omnibus. It would take 2, right? Also, Long Shot Gallery Edition announcement would be awesome. Yeah, it would be. I would be down for that. I love that stuff.
Caden, thank you. Well,
and I emailed you back. I'm gonna try to find that book for you, and if I find it today, I'll send you a bunch of trades in that book. Okay, keep on reading, buddy. The Discord is lit. Plenty of cool peeps. Yeah, man. The Discord has like if you're new to reading comics or new to collected editions, I wanted to make a place where people had beginner questions and then feel stupid, because that's one of my things that I hate is the mentality of this bully mentality of like, that's a dumb question. So in my videos, I always ask people to leave questions in the comment section, because to me, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Hold on, let me finish my statement before you take it out of context. Dumb question when it comes to a beginner question. Everybody was a beginner at one time, and we all had 100 questions. Now, I can't get to all 100 questions, but it's been so cool to see the on Discord, people on Discord answering a bunch of newbie questions. So it's really cool. And that's kind of something that
I've wanted to create. And there's also channels that are for goofy things.
Matthew, how you doing, buddy? Okay, bye, Matthew. Omar, your thoughts about Gotham After Midnight Deluxe Edition? I don't know anything about that story. I read the first 6 issues. Not bad. I'll probably get it.
For Under the Red Hood Deluxe. Yes. I was expecting it to come since we had Death in the Family.
But Death in the Family, a lonely place of dying. So yeah, it's well overdue. Hola, Omar, mi hermano. I just came back from the whole night cinema John Wick marathon of all 4 movies. Oh,
wow.
We gotta stay with you. Thank you, my brother. And oh man, that would be fun. My buddy, Father Frank, who's a priest. He's one of my best friends. He wasn't always a priest. We used to do a lot of dumb things when we were young, but we were gonna go watch Lord of the Rings. They were doing Lord of the Rings, playing all 3 of them in the cinema, and then watching The Hobbit. Now, Father Frank is a big guy, and he was like, he calls me the night before we go and get tickets, and he's like, Omar, this is a bad idea. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? It's Lord of the Rings in the theater. We're gonna watch it, and then we watch The Hobbit. He's like, yeah, but look, man, you're gonna have a bunch of guys my size in the theater. We're all gonna be eating turkey legs. And we're gonna be there for 9 hours. Omar, can you imagine what the smell is gonna be like? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll stay at home. Thanks. So we almost did that. I'm very envious of you watching all 4 of the John Wick movies, man. That's awesome. Yes, there are no dumb questions unless you ask for a Trouble Gallery edition. Judd Winnick is a very underrated writer. Fact, deserves the Omni edition for all his love of his run. His Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, his Exiles, his Green Arrow. I agree. I love all 3 of those books, brother. Got turkey legs. You ain't got turkey legs and turkey? Caden, I emailed you back. I saw the question. Here's a dumb question.
I have someone that read comics since the 90s. So dumb in quotation marks. Can you clarify the difference between spread and splash pages? I've seen the same terminology for different things.
Yeah, I have too. It gets a little bit confusing when there's a lot of people. Like, my terminology came from just people at the comic book store, so you can blame them. What I consider a splash page. Hold on a second. Like, this is a splash page, right? To me, this is what I consider a splash page. That's a splash page. There's no frames, there's no panels, it's just one full splash page. Let me see if I can find a spread. Surely the 90s had a lot of spread pages.
The numbering system. God.
In what?
Less America. Just confused with the numbering system in general.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is usually what I.
Comics
numbering system. This is a double page spread. So that is 2 pages, double page spread. Then there are fold out pages where it's like 3 pages and 4 pages, 5 pages. Like Wildcats gets crazy with those. But those are terminologies I've used. And if you want to go like there's a video I did. I think I made a video a couple of years ago about the different terminology of collected editions. If you want to go back and watch that video. As a matter of fact, I'll have Melanie put that video, maybe reshare it through YouTube.
Oh, that's a good idea. It was pinned forever on the channel, but then I changed it to no. It's pinned for new people who aren't subscribers, and then I changed it for people who are subscribers.
Okay, let me get to this question.
The poll.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Good morning. Is Fraser Irving's Clarion the Witch Boy collected in non-Seven Soldiers collections? No, there is no 4-issue. Because the trade paperbacks were mapped with other Seven Soldiers, the deluxe hardcovers were mapped with other. Yeah, so I don't think there's an actual trade of all 4 issues of Clarion the Witch Boy.
What was I typing? Pinned video.
Hello, Omar and Melanie, or Melanie and Omar. Sorry about that. Was there a specific point in where you stopped collecting singles to then start collecting collected edition? Was it a space, or you could just read the story in one shot? I love the way that it looked on bookshelves. And to me, I was tired of dinging out my long boxes, going to find a random issue. They were doing a better job in 2003, 2004 is when I noticed, oh, they're collecting all these new comics in like 6 months after they're being published. Like after the 6th issue, they go straight to trade paperback. So those were kind of the driving points for me to go strict to collected editions.
And Carlos is saying thank you for the answer about the terminology.
You're welcome. What's up, Joe? How are you, my brother? And how's Rachel, man? Joe and Rachel Pollack, who's had a lot of health issues, and Neil Gaiman made that statement about. I think that's the last thing I saw, man. That Neil Gaiman said that it sucks, but it's near the end. And I'm just wondering how you're doing, brother. Is there any way to get more pre-crisis DC books out in Absolute Edition? Any idea if the ones out lately are selling well, like Fourth World and Swamp Thing? I would hope so. I would hope they continue that line because we're only getting like 4 or 5 next year, which is good. All things considered, the catalog was empty before, and then and it's still empty for the summer.
I don't know your relationship, but I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah, Joe's good people, man. We hung out with him in New York Comic Con. He came out to eat and drink with us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm horrible with names. Yeah, I hope you're doing okay. It's the different kinds of collected editions.
Yeah, okay. I thought there was one that I did for Terminal. Maybe it's that one. I'm sorry. Maybe it's that one. How many issues do you read? I don't think I do issues anymore. I just go through trades. I'm doing good if I'm reading 3 or 4 trades a day. Yeah, I'm doing good. If not, then I need to catch up, and then I do 8 issues a day or 8 trades a day. Luckily, a lot of the trades I've read recently have been modern trades. Like I'm going through a stack of Dark Horse books. You saw the stack for the Marvel books. So those books is what I'm going through. Accidentally ordered. No, you did not accidentally. Ordered Doctor Strange Volume 2 and Sorcerer Supreme Volume 3. So now I got to buy even more to complete both sets. And that's how it's done.
What's your favorite custom Omni outside of Marvel versus DC?
Oh, I have a lot. I've got Hitman, Supergirl by Peter David. I've got a lot. I just don't show them on the channel because, they're not kind of supposed to be out there. But, you find stuff through the years on eBay or people send you stuff. So I do add them to my collection, but I've got a ton. So those are probably some of my favorite ones. Prophet by Graham. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one too.
Joe's saying that he saw Rachel on Monday. It's likely not long now, but she knows people care about her and appreciate her work. Her
work was ahead of its time. And I'm so glad she got to see that omnibus before she passed. That means something, right? Like she got to see her work collected and something that DC said they could never do. So I'm glad that she got to see that. Yeah, I know she means a lot to a lot of people. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. What are you planning on buying from the DC catalog if it doesn't get canceled?
Don't jinx it. All the Omnis with the exception of the Golden Age stuff, and Silver Age. I leave that to my buddy Jess. But yeah, all the Omnis, maybe the Absolutes. And if it's a reprint of something, I'll usually give it away. So yeah. Go ahead, baby.
I decorated my school wall for Women's History Month with female comic artists. I will email you pics. That's awesome. What a good idea. And Novarg saying, I'm rereading the Fatal Attraction miniseries in issue format because I don't have anything else that included those. I wonder in what upcoming Omnis those will be added.
The crossover? That's in... Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Jess is going to buy all the... go in Silver Age, and then with your powers combined, you'll have a complete set.
Then you can sell it again and go, oh, I'll buy this again.
Has Marvel ever considered doing an absolute type of line? Spawn has their deluxe editions, and Sun City have theirs.
That was something I asked David 4 years ago, and he gave me a flat out straight answer of, that is not a Marvel thing. Then they had the gallery edition. So that's the Marvel thing. So there you go.
He's saying, yeah, the crossover. It's not.
Oh, yeah, it's not fully in there. It's only 6 issues, 6 parts. I'm sorry.
So with the recent Batman Omni solicitations, are you satisfied with the variety of Batman stories being collected in Omnis? Any that you are highly anticipating? And I think this goes with it. What is the strategy behind releasing Batman, Robin, Eternal over something like Batman by King Omni?
I don't know, man. Like the strategy, I don't know. I really don't think there was one. I wish there was, but then again, like, Marvel makes decisions all the time that I don't see coming. Why release something from the modern stuff? Why don't you go and collect all the stuff from the Silver Age? And I get it, right? You have to have things that sell. So they know that modern stuff sells compared to Silver Age. So they have to release like epics of modern and going back to the Silver. I understand that. But even things like Spider-Man Beyond, I'm like, oh, why do that instead of like Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6? And I know the answer deep down is because they have to wait for the Masterworks, and the classic stuff is usually about 2 to 3 years in between volumes. With DC, I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, wow, that is a surprise. Batman and Robin Eternal. I'm not complaining because I'm a completist, so I'll get it. But before a Batman Tom King or Batman post-crisis, it's just kind of more of a surprise. I guess because Marvel prints so much more, I can understand why they keep going back and forth. DC, look, bottom line, I'm just glad they're back. Bottom line, I'm glad that they're not out of the omnibus game, even though people claimed up and down that, DC's over. This is the end of days. Whatever. That's why I always like to ask first before I make any kind of announcement or video about things. It's ridiculous the amount of misinformation that's out there, including this channel.
What?
I'm kidding. Melanie, trivia time.
Wait, yeah, Lionheart, thank you so much for the super chat. What is Aunt May's maiden name? Jameson.
You knew that?
Yes.
You knew Aunt May's maiden name?
Jameson.
How did you know that?
Just do. I'm smart, yo. Thank you for the super chat, Lionheart.
I don't believe you. What did you do?
Nothing.
There's misinformation on the internet. Oh my dude. Oh man, that was sarcasm. That's sarcasm.
It sounds like Jameson.
No, Melanie.
Jameson. I can't say it.
All right, I'll give you a hint, Melanie. There's a reason why Ben chose that last name. Scarlet Spider.
Well, Google told me wrong.
Why are you Googling instead of asking me?
Because I wanted to know an answer.
Remember when I said there's misinformation on the internet?
It did have a parentheses.
Perfect example, ladies and gentlemen.
Riley.
Look
What
at
does
the,
NIE?
look at the face
really,
of shame right there.
like, no, NE with the, what is that? With the accent mark E? NEE? Riley?
Oh, that's her maiden name.
But
Riley.
But what's NEE? Look, this is what it said.
Misinformation. That's when Jameson's when she married Jay Jonah's dad.
Oh,
Mhm.
But it's James.
We're not. You know, people come here for Q&As, and you're over here Googling answers. Unbelievable.
I thought Jamison had an N in it.
Jameson. Okay, we'll go back. No, oh my gosh. What do you do about a collector who thinks Batman only deserves a 6 out of 10?
Look, I looked up the answer and I still got it wrong.
Wait, what's going on here, Art?
Okay.
And thinks year 2 is one of the
give
best.
Give him the Batman gift.
I would give that collector a YouTube channel and
there we go.
and claim that he doesn't
Thumbs up
do
from
misinformation. That's what I would do, Art. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
I just talked about the origin of my 6 out of 10 Batman and how it all got out of context.
May Sweet Mama. Oh, okay. Thank you. That means maiden name. NEE.
I told her that. I don't know why she doesn't believe me.
Because I don't know.
She has a master's in English, and I'm just a guy from Peru. I shouldn't believe him.
Okay. So we got all the super chats. Thank you for the love. No, I just want to be part of the cool kids. I've had a crush on Spider-Man since I was in the 8th grade. Omar's Q&A makes no guarantees on the accuracy of the answers.
I can't even. Melanie can't even rely on
Riley.
Oh my gosh. Melanie can't even rely on Google. Everybody. When are we getting more breaking news announcements? Tomorrow for the Marvel Masterworks. Today, if you're on Patreon. There you go, my brother.
Why is Detective Chimp better than Batman?
I don't know. Being an occult detective? Have you seen the pipe he smokes and the hat he wears? That screams detective, baby. Nightwing Omnibus by Chuck Dixon. I agree.
The Batman is the Knight, which is a cult and
Melanie,
detective.
would you do the honors?
Which one? I can't.
Those 3. No.
The Nightwings? Okay.
Yeah. One day. But until then, 3 years ago, Omar was weak. And he got
all 3?
All
okay.
3 of Chuck Dixon's custom omnis of Nightwing because I couldn't. I was like, well, DC ain't doing it. I'm drunk. And these are really expensive.
All right. And that makes it look like it's you get drunk a lot and order things when you don't.
Oh, no. I order things sober all the time. But I remember this one was too expensive for me to do sober, but this is all 3 of them.
It looks really pretty.
They are great. And I paid way too much money. Too much money for this. But they're oversized custom omnis. And they're beautiful. Like that's my favorite Nightwing run. I think Tom Taylor is killing it right now. That might maybe, well, it all depends, how long his run goes. That might end up being my new favorite Nightwing run. But to this day, that run means a lot to me. Scott McDaniels on art, Chuck Dixon writing the story, Nightwing being his own man, breaking away from it, and it came out at the right time when I was leaving home and being my own man too. So loved it.
I've seen 6 out of
7
Marvel Omnis postponed to 2024 from Amazon.
Well,
are these postponements true? Any problems? The causes the Omni DC Comics just announced? Thanks.
So right now, Marvel's trying to figure out a schedule to get. Oh, thank you, baby. Whoa, you almost spilled it too.
And you put it on top of your book.
Okay, why are you writing me out?
Because
don't be mad at me because you got misguided from Google. All right. So right now, Marvel's trying to figure out the schedule to get work with distribution and work with printers to get at least 2 omnis a week going. But right now, they are they're moving things around. Those dates right now are just placeholders, so keep in mind those might change too. Those are beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, they are. I didn't make them. I just bought them. But they are beautiful.
Hey, do you lift omnis? Because you look quite fit.
Ooh, baby, come on now. That's a good line. That's a good line. If I'm at a bar and you come up with like that line, it's a good line.
I mean, I was there. I would just geek out. I don't care that this person referenced Omni's. What?
How many year one books are there?
Thank you for
Thank
the
you,
super
Carlos.
chat.
Are you talking about the new year one, like all the Batman villains? I think there's 9 of them, right? Bane year one, Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. Or if you're talking about the classic, there is Robin year one, Nightwing year one, Batgirl year one, of course, the ever classic Batman year one. But there's also Superman year one, even though it's Black Label and I don't even know if it's canon anymore. Wonder Woman year one.
Eric loving those.
Born to Run was year one for Flash. Wally West.
Near.
You done?
No. I could go on. All you have to do is go.
You know what? Aquaman never really got a year one. That's one of the few characters. I mean,
the French for born.
Emerald Dawn was kind of like Green Lantern's year one. So I think like Aquaman was the one character never got a year one. Those aren't year ones. They are they're one bad day. Thank you. Who corrected me? Can you give him some love? Daniel Cohen. He corrected me. Thank you for that.
Your mom's canon.
Okay.
That's what
we're done.
Said. Any announcements coming soon?
The Masterworks announcements, and then we can focus back on Omnis. But first, they're trying to really hard to get the schedule fixed.
So, Omar, what's the worst comic you've ever read? I know the answer for Ben, though. I just want to give Ben a shout out. The Badger.
Ben Uncles?
Yeah. I guess.
He didn't like The Badger?
Wait.
It's a classic.
No, maybe. Okay, no. Wait, what was the single issue? It's been. He's probably not on the chat. He would have said something.
You talking about Mike
Somebody
Carlin's?
else was in the book club.
I mean, it's
was
old.
it The Badger? Was it?
Okay.
And it was the worst giveaway. Josh, did you win it? Let's see.
Let me see. For me, look, Bar's just making older people mad. Bar, you're gonna get a kick to the head. I'm trying to think. Worst comic I've ever read.
It's The Badger. Okay, it's The Badger, and Josh did win.
I'm trying to think. Worst comic I ever read. It might be. I've read a lot of bad comics. I own a lot of bad comics.
Wolverine cutting hair.
I mean, but sometimes even I hate Trouble. Trouble with a freaking passion, but at least Trouble had Terry Dodson on art, so it kind of doesn't even balance it out. It's just bad. Oh man, this is a hard question, dude. I've read a lot of bad comics, but what's the worst? Charlie Houston's Wolverine, the best there is. That was horrible. But again, like
that's what it just suggested.
That's the one where he cuts hair. I'm like, what? Well, why is Wolverine cutting hair?
Wow, Cody said New Warriors.
Who's Cody? Ban him. I don't care who it is. New Warriors. Well, Cody, you're a very blessed person that you ain't read worse comics than that. It just means you ain't read enough. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's good,
do you think? Man, this is a hard question. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. I've read a lot of dumb stuff. Read a lot of bad stuff. Yeah, I don't know. This is hard. Omar, do you think there's a reason why DC just doesn't do Peter David Omnis? I mean, Marvel's killing it. Probably because they don't know, and it would take some time to actually map this stuff out.
Would you like to mention the schedule for the week?
Sure. Would you like to make me a schedule for the week? My brain's just been thinking about Lex Comic Con and Monday. So let's see.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. Let's see if I can do this. We're winging it. Sunday is the Marvel Masterworks in the morning, and then Judge Dredd Part 3. Monday is Moon Knight, and then Nova in the afternoon. Tuesday is the Marvel Trades and Old Reader, New Reader with Maddie. Wednesday is the Lexington Comic Con coverage. And then Amanda and I will be going over, I think we're going to do an anime movie.
Oh.
For the Reels Talk to end my birthday month. Thursday is the live stream with Omnidog, Odfell, Peter from Crushing Crisis, Curtis from Epic Marvel Collection, and Lars from formerly of Wizard Magazine for the Marvel solicitations for July of 2023. Friday's the upcoming collected editions. Oh my gosh, I did it. Saturday's the live stream, and next Sunday's my top 10. There we go. Bob's your uncle. And somewhere in there is the, oh my gosh, a lot of stuff. Like, oh, that beautiful book that 2000 AD sent me, the artist edition, the Apex edition, and then the Ghost in the Shell stuff. So there you go, man. Trouble isn't even close. Let me see what he put. A lot of current big two books are so much worse. I don't know about that, man. Okay. Trouble was awful. Trouble was awful. And the fact that they try to make it canon.
What is Trouble?
It's
for weeks.
It's freaking Dirty Dancing with Aunt May and Uncle Ben and a couple friends. Peter Parker's.
Okay.
And she got pregnant, and they were like, "Oh, this is canon." That made us mad more than and then of course Since Passing One More Day came out, and then that's all she wrote. Those are awful too. Heroes in Crisis is awful. This is a really hard question, man.
Well, Super Laugh Heart is thanking Grud for your Dread video.
Oh, thank you.
And they'll put up a poll for which anime film they watch.
Yeah, we'll put it up. It's got to be 80s.
And Ryan, their Tiger Eyes poll results haven't been published.
Right. I think he usually joins the Saturday stream, and he must have been he must be busy counting. Y'all must have done a lot. Avengers 200 was awful.
Remember we did the giveaways? I'm like counting
man, we don't miss those days. You start crying after the giveaway.
Counting the
I do. Have you been reading the chat? Like,
answers?
What's their worst? Like, I'm curious what everybody's worst is.
Yeah, I've been showing it.
Okay, like that's a good one. Avengers 200 was awful. Like, if you don't know the story of Avengers 200, it's one of the most creepiest stories you're going to read. And I don't mean creep like scary. I mean creep like, what were the editors? And it's funny because nobody claims to be the writer of that book, the idea. And the idea is, thank you so much, brother. This came from my buddy Bryant. The idea of Avengers 200 is that Carol Danvers is impregnated by her own son. And when you read it, you're like, and it's awful. And the writers are like, that was all the editor. And the editor's like, no, one of the writers must have come up with that. Nobody claims the idea like to this. And thank God for Chris Claremont, who saved that character in the pages of Avengers Annual number 10. Yes, no one wants to take you know the story, brother. Yes, nobody wants to take credit for that.
I've heard the term talking heads. I think that's what it's called. Come up on the channel several times. I've never wanted to admit. Can you explain what it is? Ryan, that's a good question.
You've read a lot of talking heads.
So it's when I suppose you could think of it literally, like the panel is focused close up on the heads, but maybe not necessarily. I guess it's opinion. But anyway, and there's no action. It's just talking, just conversation, continuing to focus on their faces. When not very, in my opinion, like it's not a good thing. It's not artsy. It's not it's not showing off the art.
Mm-hmm. There's people sitting around drinking coffee. I'm not even gonna.
I mean, I like slice of life stories. However, I think there's that fine line between it being slice of life, which means, how would you describe slice of life? It's kind of relaxing story that it engages you. It's like, I feel like I'm there drinking coffee with them, as opposed to like, I bet you this is the difference with talking heads. It's moving the plot along. It's not an experience that you are sharing with the characters. It's just like telling the story through dialogue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah. I think that's it.
I left this part out because it was just that awful, and I'm not going to read it out loud. But yes, also that. And I'm serious. It was just such a weird story. It's one of the most hated stories for any Avengers. I'm surprised Marvel actually printed it, both in the Marvel Masterworks and in the Captain Marvel original years or Carol Danvers original years omnibus. It's just notorious for being bad. Is it still the worst one though? I don't know. A lot of bad stories I've read, guys.
Let's see. Bert's asking, what's the difference between... He gave us a super chat earlier. What's the difference between Superman, The Adventures of Superman, and Action Comics? I am asking because I'm reading my first Superman comics, John Byrne, besides Birthright and Earth 1.
I'm asking because I'm reading... Okay, what's the difference? Superman, Adventures of Superman... So, back in the 80s, think of it like X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. There was so much need for Superman comics that Eventually, we got Man of Steel, so there were 4 comic books a month, and that's what created the triangle years. And when I say the triangle years, if you've heard me use that term, it's when DC got smart and said, wait a minute, we can get dumb kids like Omar to buy every single Superman comic by just putting a number in a triangle and saying 1, 2, 3. So you follow that number all year long. You know, there's like 40 comics and you're following the triangle numbers, and it's supposed to be read in order or written in order. So like crossovers are done that way, and you keep an eye. Annuals sometimes had the triangle. And yeah, so there was really no difference. It was just different creators, like John Byrne working on a book. Eventually you had Roger Stern, Louis Simonson, Jerry Ordway working on books. So that was it. Somebody mentioned how the dumbest character is a guy that rides around. Are you talking about Dwayne Taylor from the Taylor Foundation, Night Thrasher? You're talking about, dude, he was thrashing crime on a skateboard. How? He's talking about Night Thrasher from New Warriors. Why his characters?
Tokyo Ghost reprint release date?
I don't have that yet. I don't think is that out yet?
When will the Tom Grummett Superboy run get omnibus?
Well, who knows? I love that era. We can't even get a Man of Steel omnibus.
Longshot was thrashing. Mojo World's champion.
He was. Not a lot of people like Mojo or Longshot. Actually, Mojo is one of my least favorite villains of all time. Anytime, like, even as a kid, when I saw Mojo was featured in a story, even if it had beautiful artwork by Arthur Adams, I'd roll my eyes still. I'm like, oh, I hate this character so much. So maybe even back then I hated reality TV. Omar getting triggered now. Don't mess with the New Warriors.
To each of April, I think, for Tokyo
to each their own, though.
Ghost reprint.
I gotta respect your opinion. If you don't like New Warriors, that may not be for you.
Well, Sergeant Savage says they got their
so it's out already. Okay,
this week, 12th of April.
Oh my gosh, man! Image Comics drives me nuts with their freaking FOCs, and I can't imagine being a retailer because retailers have an FOC, and then like 2 weeks later the books show up, meaning there was really no true FOC.
Can you explain Mojo too?
He's the sequel. Next.
Oh, okay. Have you read
Berserk? It was an idea by Jim Lee. Let's continue. Let's kill Mojo off, and we'll have Mojo 2, the sequel. It makes sense. It's a movie reference, and nobody took it from there. I think he kind of disappeared. Rob Liefeld had the idea of making Mojo 5. That's where Shatterstar came from the future of Mojoverse or Mojo World. I have not read Berserker. I really want to.
With Camelot being one of Marvel's new faves, think we got a good chance of his Iron Man run getting an Omni?
I would rather get his Doom with Doom riding a bear on a spine in oversized hardcover, but I hope so. Is he a favorite though? I don't know. I know that a lot of people. I really enjoyed his writing on Iron Man. I know a lot of people liked it, but I don't know if he's a fan favorite per se. Why don't people like Longshot? Because he wasn't a true mutant, even though he did show some mutant powers of like touching something and then, getting the memories of that object.
Yeah, is that not a mutant ability?
No, they claimed that it was something else.
Like
it wasn't
magic?
Yeah, a little bit of magic, because I mean Spiral is kind of magic based too. Yeah, Benson.
Okay. Every Liefeld idea was a sequel technically.
What? No. Okay.
Okay, Gaten, we'll get to that later.
There's no fees, buddy. It's my treat. I like kids reading comics, so if I can find it today, I'll be. I know the booth that had it yesterday. Amanda and I were there, so I'll try to go find it as soon as I get there. Okay.
Given that original Innocenti's Longshot miniseries is kind of lame, Claremont made the characters cool later, in my opinion.
I like this miniseries. I don't think it was meant, for him to join the X-Men, but then Innocenti was also editor too. So
should I upgrade my V for Vendetta trade for deluxe edition or the absolute? Is it worth it?
If you like this story, yes. For the longest time, that's one of my, people ask me like, is there stories that you don't like that everybody else does? V for Vendetta was always on the top of that list. I never understood the love of V for Vendetta. And if you like it, and much, more power to you. If you love it. I know it's a lot of people's favorite Alan Moore story. I just never got it. Some stories just don't click with you. Like New Warriors, Night Thrasher, riding around on a skateboard, bashing heads.
What do you think Claremont X-Men peaks? I'm doing a massive read
Ooh.
through for the first time, and I just
Hard-
started
hard-
Fall
oh.
of the Mutants Omni, and it's still going strong for me.
Oh, I love Fall of the Mutants is my favorite. Peaks. When did it peak? Well, okay, I'll be honest, man. It's another age thing. I think a lot of people, I know when I worked at the comic book store, there were people that were like, Dark Phoenix, John Byrne left the book. I never picked up another X-Men comic. And I was like, what? You never read like the Brood Saga? You didn't get to From the Ashes? You never got to the Trial of Magneto, the Mutant Massacre? I remember there was a gentleman that stopped reading with Mutant Massacre. They were like, this is a ploy to get people to buy this X Factor book. Nobody wants to read that. And I always think, like, did he stay true to his word and never pick up another X-Men comic? So I really think peak. It's definitely different for everybody. For me, where it peaked, I love, and you won't hear a lot of people say this, I love the Outback years. That's my favorite era of X-Men. A lot of people hated that era. A lot of people were like, this is such a confusing era, but I love that era. See what I mean? Roberto Rodriguez is wrong. He's saying Claremont peaks around the late 70s, maybe early 80s. I'd say, for me, it's the Mark Silvestri Outback era. That was my favorite era.
Josh, put bar time out. Oh, that was mean. Josh is take away your powers if you misuse them.
The first complete of a mini I worked on showed up for Privateer Press today. So cool to see the finished product. I'll email you a plate. Please do, brother.
Oh, that's awesome.
So excited. Matthew's been following us for years, and he's been sending us artwork for giveaways for years. And it's so cool to see him grow as an artist and actually get his stuff published by board games and now comics. Dude, that is so awesome. So it turns out that Unstoppable Bar was stoppable after all. There's your dad joke for Saturday.
Bleecker Street or Baker Street? Choose wisely. What's Bleecker Street?
Bleecker Street. Baker Street. That's Sherlock. So
well, yeah,
Baker.
But what's Bleecker?
I don't know. I can't remember. I know it's familiar. What is Beaker? Beaker.
Somebody explain.
Is that a Sesame Street?
No, Bleecker.
I know. I'm thinking there, Aunt May. Don't trust Google.
Bleecker. Nope. Because I'll misread it.
Gray Malkin Lane. That's where I'd hang out.
Is that where the X-Mansion
is? That's where the X-Mansion is.
Halfway through the House of M Omni, does the story continue with the X-Men pursuing Wanda, looking for the solution, or just a reset?
Doctor Strange. Because I remember it's the Bleecker and Baker sound very similar, and what's his name plays both characters in the movies, and I was like, oh, okay, Doctor Strange. No, still Gray Malkin Lane. Halfway through House of M, does the story continue in X-Men pursuing Wanda looking for the solution, or is it just a reset? It's more of a reset. If you want a actual follow-up to that, that can be found in the pages of Avengers, Young Avengers. That's actually the Children's Crusade is kind of a sequel to House of M.
Bar made that joke on the AMA.
Oh, you did?
It looks like the Unstoppable Bar is stoppable.
Oh, you made that joke. Oh, I must have missed
Jay
that.
says, I just bought Frank Miller's Daredevil Omni. How good is it?
Top tier. It's good. It's excellent.
There you go.
I hope you enjoy it. Give it more than like 5-6 issues though. Wait until he starts writing it. When you see Elektra appear, that's true Frank Miller.
Oh, good. Really enjoyed those Q&A. I'm assuming you mean the AMAs?
The AMAs? Yeah, I have a lot of fun. Good morning. My birthday week is quickly approaching. What book or series were you originally not going to get and were greatly surprised? Here lately, what's the book that surprised me? Gwenpool. I actually enjoyed Gwenpool. Can't say the same for Squirrel Girl. I'm sorry.
That's good. I was gonna make a joke.
I mean, if you're a fan of Squirrel Girl, more power to you. My kids like it. I just not my kind of humor. But I heard Ryan North is amazing in Fantastic Four, so can't wait to read that. But yeah, Gwenpool surprised me. I was like, I thought this was a stupid character, but these stories are pretty fun. Let's see. That's for Marvel. For DC. Oh, that the Dark Knights. I really like that. The Medieval Knights take on Justice League by Tom Taylor. That was fun. DC, not DC Metal. I can't remember what it's called. Dark Knight something, man. Not Dark Knight's Metal. But those two books surprised me.
Let's see. Chris is asking if you got insight. USPS delivered my books to another address and is marking them as delivered. Any thoughts on what I could do? Postmaster doesn't see it as her problem.
Okay, that is a big problem. If hold on, I don't know who the sender is, but that's a big problem if the postmaster marked it as delivered, and that is her problem. I mean, if you have a porch thief, maybe she can say that's not her problem, but there's no way she can prove that. But if you can prove that it was delivered to another address, then that is her problem, and she needs to do something about that. The driver or the deliverer needs to rectify that, because that's not cool. You can't pass the buck on forever when it comes to these things. Like, I don't know if you bought it from Amazon. Usually if you call them, they can resend you stuff. But if it's like a third-party thing, or you bought something rare on eBay, then that has to be a case open up against the USPS. And I have friends that work for the USPS, and they would tell you the same thing, because something very similar happened to me, where a package said was delivered and we never got it. And it was because it was an eBay thing that I bought many years ago, so I had to open up a case, and I had to wait forever. And they did refund me my money, but that's still not the same thing, and that's not what I wanted. I just wanted the package.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
I would definitely, yeah. If you, I assume you've been to the post office if you've talked to the postmaster. Do you own the Adams O'Neil Green Lantern Green Arrow Hard Traveling Heroes? I have it in Absolute Edition, and it's Neil Adams, so I had to get it.
Which format would you recommend? So you recommend Absolute?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bert, for the super chat.
Yeah, brother, get that Absolute, man. And while it's still in print, who knows when it'll go out of print? I think
people
it's
are saying Dark Knights of Steel.
Dark Knights of Steel. Thank you all so much. That's what it's called.
Does The Man Without Fear of Miller and John Romita Jr. in Omnibus already?
Yes, Man Without Fear is in the companion Omnibus.
Is The Incredible Hulk by Peter David Omni Volume 2 a good jumping on point? Volume 1 seems to be out of print. Yeah, because it's still the it is, because that's when the book gets really freaking good. Not that Ground Zero wasn't good; it's still iconic and awesome with that Todd McFarlane beautiful artwork in the fight with Wolverine. But Volume 2 has the super handsome Hulk. Oh, I hope you enjoy it, dude. Understood how the delivery companies can leave your packages on your porch in the U.S. It's illegal in my country because the post office would still be responsible. Yeah, man. I think that, I don't know how it happens, but I think just customer service has just gotten bad. Wait a minute. Is Doc Holliday here? What is Doc Holliday saying? Doc Holliday's here. I just want to call him out for, it's your fault that people are now misquoting me for. There he is. Oh. Hey, Omar, have you thought about interviewing somebody from Organic Price Books, Inside Trades, or Tales of Wonder? I thought about doing that. Wait a second. You didn't finish your thought.
Oh, this is your fault that people are misquoting me for Batman 6 out of 10 detective. Thank you, sir, for asking me, what do you think Batman, how good of a detective is Batman, occult detective is Batman? At this moment, I just want everybody to smash their like button. All right, really quick. Have I ever thought about, yes, I did. And I actually reached out to a couple of people. And because they're competitors, I think I get it, right? I understand. Everybody runs their own business differently. Because I was going to ask how things have changed post-pandemic, right? I think it would be a really fun topic. But I think some of them don't want to be in the episode with somebody else. Not because they're like, oh, I hate that person, or that person can go to Hades. But more along the lines of like, well, I don't mind doing an episode talking about it, but I'd rather not share the spotlight with someone else. And and I'm not going to say who it was, but I think it's because they don't want competition to know how they work. So it makes sense, I guess, and I got to respect that. I will try again, because I think it would be a fun episode if we can just set things aside and not get too personal about the inner workings of things and just talk about just in general how things have changed post-pandemic. I think it would be a really fun episode to get an inside view of like these big, companies. Thank you for the super sticker, soft covered bar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, I got to respect the decision, because it would be
America Chavez.
Oh my gosh.
Harley Quinn.
Oh my
god. Squirrel Girl. If you had to keep one of those characters alive, who would you choose?
Out of those? Out of those four? Just out of those 4, and the rest can go in a blender, and I can just push the pulse button really slow from time to time. I'd probably keep Gwenpool's pretty cool. Probably Harley Quinn. I hate that you asked that question. Now, if you throw Harley in there with Rogue and Storm and Big Barda, sorry, Harley, you're out of there. I'm keeping the other 3, but it's got to be the original Harley Quinn. I like her.
That's what Jose said.
Harley Quinn, of course, but the original. And who the heck is Squire Girk?
Let's see. Would you agree that any dog under 50 pounds is a cat? That's so random. No. I think I know what you mean by that, but no. And honestly, I'm more of a cat person myself. So,
who do I prefer? Homelander or Omni-Man? I would not have either one over for dinner or for Street Fighter matches. But I actually like Homelander. Homelander's a lot more complex in the TV show, though.
Oh, there's Ben. I was just saying how you thought The Badger was the worst comic.
What's up, Omni? I'm putting down my son for his nap after a morning at the playground. How excited was everyone for the question Omnibus Volume 2? Very excited. Rye Guy's got the question, though. Rye Guy's got the question. Better Cold Detective. Detective Chimp or the question? Detective Chimp. Because the question is a true hero that gets his butt whooped from time to time. And that's why you got to love him.
The heck is the original
Batman, the animated series. Omar is a classic Harley purist. I don't mind if the character changes.
The original Harley is Punchline.
Y'all gonna make Bar snap.
It's 12:45.
Oh, I gotta get going, everybody. But before I do, I'm gonna take one more question. That's an excellent one right there. Everybody, please check out cheapgraphicnovels.com and tell them your Mint Condition sent you their way. They have books up to 50% off. They're having a huge DC sale right now. Not us, not
Thanks,
NMC.
Ben, for the explanation.
It's CGN. And like books like Flash by Jeff Johns, Volume 1 is $45. So if you have an order from them, tell them Near Mint Condition sent you their way for up to free shipping on your next order. That's what I meant. Omar, top 5 John Byrne runs. Oh gosh. All right, here we go. Man of Steel, Superman. Love it. Love Superman. Love what he did with Superman. Fantastic Four, Alpha Flight. And I guess as an artist, I got to go with X-Men. X-Men. Of course, X-Men. Oh my gosh, X-Men. Oh, now this is where it gets hard because there's a lot of fun books he worked on that he didn't really write. Next Men. Yeah, there we go. Have a great weekend. You all have a wonderful weekend. I'm sorry I have to cut it short today because
you have to answer this. It's
who would you rather nail to the wall? Nail a poster to my wall? That's what we're talking about because it's a Saturday Q&A and Power Girl all day long, baby. I like him older, like a fine wine. To nail to the wall. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I gotta go cover a convention. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you live next week or Thursday if you want to join for the Marvel July solicitations. And that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Everybody, stay minty.
Bye, everyone.